The anime starts with a huge boom echoing across Japan. People glance out their windows, watching a ripple of energy spread from a fearsome alien monster. This creature immediately strikes again, tearing through several buildings. The damage is immense, and officials quickly receive alerts about the serious danger that has appeared. Meanwhile, a news reporter frantically warns viewers about the monster on a live broadcast. A mysterious man then calmly steps out of his home, determined to face this enemy head-on. He spots a little girl crying, but a powerful hero scoops her to safety just in time. When asked who he is, he simply says he's just a hero doing this for kicks, nothing fancy. That hero is Saitama. Saitama discovers this monster, Vaccine Man, intends to wipe out all humans and their wicked way of life. Vaccine Man bulks up, confidently telling Saitama he stands absolutely no chance. But Saitama, completely unfazed, knocks him out with a single punch. He can't believe the fight ended so quickly, and a deep sadness washes over him. 3 years before, Saitama had crossed paths with a creature that resembled a crab. The crab man wondered why Saitama hadn't run away, explaining he got this way from eating expired Krabby Patties. Saitama, unemployed and fresh from a failed job interview, simply said he wasn't in the mood to flee. The crab guy, calling himself Mr. Krabs, seemed to take a liking to Saitama, noting his dull eyes were just like his own. He also mentioned his keen interest in finding a boy with a prominent chin, whom he planned to dismember. Later, Saitama is surprised to spot a kid with a huge chin and asks if the boy had tangled with a big crab monster. Saitama learns the child had doodled on the crabman with a marker. Before Saitama can even think about warning the boy, Mr. Krabs abruptly shows up and attacks. Saitama immediately pulls the boy to safety, telling him to run. However, the kid stubbornly refuses to budge, insisting he get his soccer ball back. Mr. Krabs grows really mad, making Saitama ask why he would kill a kid for a harmless joke. The crab monster shoots back that hurting innocent folks is amusing, and the boy's prank had bruised his ego. Saitama feels personally offended, then chuckles, thinking Mr. Krabs looks like a cartoon bad guy he'd seen. When Saitama is attacked, with a clear aim to end the big-chinned kid, he suddenly thinks about his old dream of being a powerful hero, so he dares Mr. Krabs to a proper fight. Mr. Krabs, in a rage, batters Saitama with his crab claws, swearing to finish him off. But Saitama, in a surprising turn, overpowers Mr. Krabs instead. Saitama wins that fight, and from that moment, he trains relentlessly every single day until he loses all his hair. He grows so incredibly strong that absolutely no one can defeat him. Still, ever since then, he often feels a strange emptiness inside. Out of nowhere, a giant man crashes into a grocery store, leaving a massive footmark. We then meet a wicked scientist who has mutated his younger brother into an enormous monster. The brother always wanted to be the strongest and trained constantly, while his older brother created Biceps King, a super powerful steroid. The scientist injects his brother with the super drugs, turning him into a massive, muscle-bound beast. Both of them then plan to take over the planet. The scientist watches as his huge brother starts smashing up towns, leading to warnings for everyone about a giant creature. People in City D run away in fear. The scientist proudly announces his brother is the strongest man alive. Yet, he then spots a guy on his brother's shoulder. He tells his brother to kill him, but the steroids man quickly sees he has the wrong target. Furious, the steroids man tosses Saitama around like a plaything, slamming him into the ground. Saitama, being hit, just waits for all the punches to stop. Then the steroids man feels a hollow feeling, a kind of sadness Saitama knows well. Saitama punches his enemy in the face, realizing that being incredibly strong really is quite dull. After winning that fight, Saitama walks to a convenience store to grab some groceries for dinner. As he heads home, he doesn't see any sign that the world's bad stuff is going away. He isn't exactly sad, but a thought keeps nagging at him. For all his power, he feels like he'd lost his feelings, stuck in endless boredom. Later, a car-shaped monster insults him, and he, again, beats it with one punch. He feels a bit down reaching home without a single scratch, wishing he could find someone strong enough to really put up a fight. The next morning, Saitama's apartment is wrecked as a powerful monster attacks him. His enemies, calling themselves the real Earthlings, intend to take over the world above ground. Many of their friends show up, threatening Saitama and bragging that they'd already wiped out 70% of the surface population. Saitama, thrilled to finally face tough opponents and fight the Subterraneans, throws some insults their way. He then defeats the first monster with one punch, looking forward to more challenging battles. Saitama faces another attack, pleased to unleash his full strength. His foes surround him, and he uses all his might to punch them. After a prolonged struggle, an enemy hits him, causing a massive explosion. The Earthlings, thinking the fight is done, can't believe they encountered such a powerful man. Suddenly, Saitama announces he's just a hero doing this for kicks, stating that he protects the world above ground. The Earthlings, boiling with anger, charge at Saitama, but he effortlessly dodges every single hit. Right then, Saitama realizes he feels thrilled, just like in his very first battle, and his heart starts beating faster. He notices his feelings coming back. The big boss then appears, clearly mad, and Saitama dashes towards him to fight the mighty Earthling King. Suddenly, Saitama wakes up, hearing noises outside. They announce themselves as the Subterraneans. Saitama marches confidently towards the Subterranean King, expecting a fierce battle. But, to his disappointment, they instantly surrender and return underground. A few days later, Saitama goes back to his dull life in his apartment. While watching TV, he hears about a mosquito problem in his town. He steps outside to water his plants, not knowing about the dangerous swarm of mosquitoes mentioned on the news. A lone mosquito lands on his hand. He slaps it, but it survives. He puts all his effort into trying to kill the tiny bug. At the same time, everyone in the city is warned about a demon-level threat. Over in City Z, a good-looking cyborg named Genos is after a huge group of mosquitoes. A thief, taking advantage of the mess to grab some expensive things, doesn't take the mosquito warning seriously. Suddenly, a swarm shows up, bewildering him. They attack him, sucking all his blood dry. Then, a mosquito queen pops up, unhappy with how little blood there is. Genos arrives, blasting fire at the queen. He figures out she controls all the mosquitoes to steal human blood and that he's her next target. She tells her mosquitoes to attack Genos, but he fights back with a fire blast, burning up her entire army. She can't believe Genos has destroyed them so easily. Meanwhile, Saitama thinks he's finally snagged his mosquito, but no luck. Genos then aims his next attack at the mosquito queen. She takes his hits, so Genos cranks up his power, sending out an even stronger fire blast. The queen ducks, tearing off one of his arms. She looks down at Genos, but in a flash, he tears off her legs. She tries to get away, but Genos chases her, hitting her again. Understanding Genos is a real threat, she orders her mosquito crew to drain all the animal's blood. Genos gets ready to unleash his full power to finish her. Suddenly, Saitama shows up, trying to kill a single mosquito with bug spray. He sees the huge swarm, and Genos yells for him to run. Saitama can't get away fast enough, and the mosquito queen gets ready for her next strike. Just then, Genos uses his cyborg strength, effortlessly burning all the mosquitoes. He feels sure he's won, and his attack leaves the whole city in ruins. Saitama then thanks Genos for saving him, which completely shocks Genos because Saitama is still alive. The mosquito queen then chuckles, showing she is also alive. She transforms into a supercell mosquito and zooms at Genos at incredible speed. Genos can't dodge and gets badly hurt. Realizing his enemy is much stronger after drinking so much blood, Genos decides to give up his life, turning on his self-destruct mode. At the very last second, Saitama appears and just smacks her in the face. The next day, Genos goes to see his new master. Saitama, thinking it's a joke, says he isn't looking for a student and wonders about Genos' robot body. Genos, guessing his new master is also a cyborg, asks about the skin-colored helmet on his head. Saitama feels picked on, and Genos says sorry for his blunt words. He then tells Saitama his whole life story. His family died in a freak accident caused by a runaway cyborg, and he barely made it out alive. He became a cyborg himself to track down and destroy that evil machine. A couple of hours later, Saitama, tired of the long tale, interrupts Genos. Meanwhile, another wicked scientist finds out his trial monster has been destroyed. He gets the idea to study Saitama as his next big project, and tells his helper to send Saitama some bait. Genos then asks Saitama to teach him how to get powerful. Saitama says Genos will get even stronger than him, and asks if Genos is ready for his secret to becoming more powerful. Suddenly, a mantis monster shows up, and Saitama takes it out with one punch. More bad guys then appear outside. Genos leaps out the window, but Saitama has already dealt with them. Despite being hit, Saitama just says he's okay. A different cyborg then appears, and Genos wonders if this is the one who destroyed his family. Genos attacks him, asking some questions. Meanwhile, Saitama is surrounded by two tough monsters who want to rough him up. Genos is worried about his master but has to concentrate on his own battle. Genos uses his fire blasts, but the enemy shrugs them off. The cyborg then admits they are from the House of Evolution. We then see Saitama, looking bored, commenting that the ground seems great for a nap. The Beast King, believing Saitama is an idiot, mocks him. Saitama, seeing his suit is dirty, reveals their weakness. The Beast King, fuming, wants to display his real strength. He attacks Saitama, even accidentally killing his own teammates, then changes into a much stronger monster, boosting his power. Saitama dodges every single one of his attacks effortlessly, completely calm. He finally throws a punch, defeating the powerful Beast King with his regular hits. One of the enemy's teammates tries to escape, but Saitama tracks him down. Genos questions the cyborg gorilla, who brags that Genos couldn't possibly beat their second strongest fighter. But when the gorilla finds out the Beast King has been defeated, he quickly apologizes for his disrespect. We then learn about an old scientist, Dr. Genos. He was super smart and gave a lot to human knowledge, but he grew frustrated when his big ideas, especially a risky plan to make humans better, got no support. So Dr. Genos decides to chase his dream no matter what. After he turns 70, his hard work starts to pay off. He makes copies of himself and calls his lab the House of Evolution. Saitama abruptly cuts in, asking what any of this has to do with him. They threaten the cyborg gorilla, who quickly explains that his boss is interested in Saitama's body, though not in that way. Genos states the scientist is a strange character and has to be taken out. Saitama agrees, adding they should rush since there's a PlayStation sale the next day. Before heading off, Genos asks Cyborg Gorilla if there are other cyborgs in the House of Evolution. The gorilla answers he is the only fighter cyborg. Back at the lab, Dr. Genos and his copies are stunned that Saitama and Genos have beaten their best fighters, and are now coming to wreck the place. Dr. Genos orders them to get ready to let out Carnage Kabuto. All the copies are terrified, but their boss says they have no other option. Saitama and Genos sprint towards the wicked scientist's secret base. Genos, thinking Saitama could fly, is quickly told that people don't just naturally have wings. They reach the House of Evolution. Genos instantly fires up his cyborg powers, smashing the entire building to bits. Saitama finds out Genos believed this was the quickest way to wipe out everyone at once. Afterward, they discover a basement underground. A clone battles a monster, but can't make it. Monster Kabuto takes him down. A little later, Dr. Genos appears, saying hello to his creation. Kabuto, acting like a big tough guy, grumbles about being kept locked away his whole life. The scientist explains Kabuto was imprisoned because his mind wasn't stable, which just makes Kabuto even angrier, as he declares himself the strongest being. The scientist then asks for a special favor, making a deal. He'd free Kabuto if Kabuto could capture the two powerful enemies. Saitama and Genos feel a living presence deeper inside the secret base. Kabuto suddenly bursts forth, smashing Genos with his immense strength. Saitama is stunned to see Genos crushed against the walls. Kabuto dares Saitama to a fight, choosing the biggest room in the place, completely misjudging his foe. Genos suddenly pops up again, which completely shocks Kabuto, who can't believe he's still alive. Genos blasts Kabuto with powerful fire attacks, showing his real strength. Kabuto just looks down on him, shrugging off his rapid-fire punches. Saitama tells his student not to overdo it, but Genos won't listen. Genos uses his very last bit of energy, but his attack bounces right back. Saitama gets really mad that it has messed up Genos' perfect hair. Meanwhile, Dr. Genos, pretty hurt, tries to get away. He remembers always thinking humans were weak, a thought he'd had since he was 15. From then on, he'd planned to make humanity better. Unfortunately, he hadn't expected a bald guy in a Fashion Nova men's suit to mess up his plans. Still, he is sure his strongest monster could beat that amateur hero, Saitama. Saitama then starts running at Kabuto, asking if he is the House of Evolution's top weapon. Kabuto scoffs at him, then shows off his incredible speed. Yet he suddenly feels a dangerous vibe, and his gut screams at him to escape. Kabuto is stunned by his opponent, because every instinct he has warns him not to hit Saitama. Kabuto asks Saitama how he became so strong. Saitama, a bit surprised by the question, tells Genos to pay close attention. He then notices Dr. Genos hiding behind them. Genos worries it's too dangerous to let them know Saitama's secret. However, Saitama shares his secret to immense power. He trained for years, doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats, running 10 kilometers daily, and eating like a bodybuilder. He first thought the tough training would kill him, but he never quit. A year later, he is bald, and because of it, he gains incredible strength, becoming more powerful than ever. They all stare, unable to believe Saitama's words, thinking he is joking around. Genos shouts at him, pointing out that was just basic exercise, and he hadn't signed up to hear silly jokes. Saitama knows Genos might not believe him, but he is speaking honestly. Suddenly, Kabuto gets mad, calling Saitama a liar. He powers up, turning into a terrifying monster. Kabuto in his ultimate form plans to kill Saitama with his incredible strength. Kabuto gets ready to strike, but Saitama is deep in thought. Saitama gets punched in the face and thrown across the room. Ignoring that, Kabuto tosses him around like a doll. He suddenly understands he made a huge mistake when Kabuto announces he'll go on a rampage for a whole week. Saitama, though, can't let Kabuto wreak havoc for that long, and Dr. Genos truly believes he has no hope against Kabuto. Then Saitama remembers it will mess up his big sale day at the supermarket. Because of this, he defeats Kabuto with one punch. Afterward, Genos asks Dr. Genos why Saitama was so upset. It was all about the sale day he'd been waiting for. Genos tries to soothe them, saying if they rushed, they might still get there in time. In the days that followed, a man is often heard grumbling about the wealthy gaining more while the less fortunate suffered under society's rules. This man, Hammerhead, wants to change everything, trying to gather people with a speech about building a perfect world. Sadly, nobody cares, and he grows frustrated. They then stand outside a rich investor's building, and Hammerhead, full of envy, tells his followers to tear it down. The building instantly crumbles, and everyone nearby runs away. One of Hammerhead's team then tells him they had knocked down the wrong building. We then see the hero Mumen Rider helping a small boy get his balloon from a tree, and the boy is very thankful. Meanwhile, Saitama wakes from a nightmare about someone wanting to play rock, paper, scissors with him. Realizing it's just a dream, he turns on the TV, learning about a B-class criminal called Hammerhead who has smashed many buildings in City F. Saitama brushes his teeth, not really caring about Hammerhead, until he sees that all of Hammerhead's gang had shaved heads. Feeling insulted that they'd copied his hairstyle, Saitama decides to deal with them all. In City F, Hammerhead and his gang are causing chaos. Suddenly, the bicyclist for justice, Mumen Rider, shows up. He bravely challenges Hammerhead but is no match for him, and quickly loses the battle. The rich investor Zeniru is warned about the troublemakers but refuses to leave. Then his bodyguard Sonic arrives, promising Zeniru he will take care of everything, and they have nothing to fear. Sonic swears to knock them all unconscious and break every one of their bones. Hammerhead and his crew make their way to Zeniru's building, intending to smash his home. Speedo Sound Sonic suddenly appears, announcing that none of his foes will get out alive. Hammerhead orders his followers to attack Sonic, but Sonic, with abilities similar to Trafalgar Law's Devil Fruit, instantly separates their heads from their bodies. Everyone is easily defeated, bewildered by Sonic's incredible speed. Hammerhead, scared, tries to shield himself with his battlesuit. Sonic scoffs at him, but then a huge rock hits Sonic. At the same time, Saitama is wrongly identified as a criminal. Sonic is surprised Hammerhead doesn't try to run away. He dodges all of Hammerhead's attacks, and Hammerhead keeps insulting him. Hammerhead claims Sonic has walked right into his trap, but Sonic feels no fear, sure he will win. Sonic speeds towards his enemy, getting faster and faster. Hammerhead yells, thinking he has crushed Sonic into the ground. Then from nowhere, Sonic defeats Hammerhead from behind, before reporting to his client that his work is finished. He notices Hammerhead's body had vanished. He escaped because his skull was tougher than a regular person's. Saitama is still searching for him. Meanwhile, Genos is getting fixed up by Dr. Kusano, telling him how his new master has saved him twice. Kusano is pleased Genos has found a good buddy and shares that he'd made some new upgrades that would let Genos become even stronger than Saitama. Hammerhead at the same time wrongly thinks Saitama wants to join his gang. Saitama is attacked, and Hammerhead is stunned his punch did nothing. Saitama calls his battlesuit boring, annoying Hammerhead, who gets mad and unleashes another full power attack. Just then, Saitama remembers using a similar move as a kid, and easily stops Hammerhead. Saitama realizes his enemy is somewhat like him, and smashed his battlesuit. Hammerhead pleads for forgiveness, and Saitama lets him go, but only if he stops doing bad things. Later, as Saitama heads home, Sonic pops up, still searching for Hammerhead. Saitama is attacked, but easily ducks every one of Sonic's moves. Saitama realizes Sonic thought he was one of Hammerhead's followers, and tries to set things straight. Sonic won't believe him, saying his bald head proves him wrong. Sonic then shares his life story, a ninja who had perfected his skills since childhood, whose ego was bruised when Saitama dodged his attacks not once, but twice. Saitama just figures Sonic wants to show off his moves. Sonic then displays his incredible speed, but Saitama remains unimpressed, looking bored, and asks if he could just go home. Sonic, unable to accept that Saitama could effortlessly see through his lightning-fast attacks, tries to hit him with a kick. Saitama dodges, accidentally striking Sonic in the groin. He quickly apologizes as Sonic writhes in pain. A little while later, Sonic learns his opponent's name and promises to kill him next time they meet. Saitama can't take him seriously, and just wishes him good luck. That evening, Saitama tells Genos about Sonic, but Genos doesn't know who he is either. Saitama gets mad, realizing no one knows him as a hero. Genos is surprised by Saitama's dilemma. He'd beaten so many monsters, yet no one recognized him. He wants to become a famous hero. Genos recalls another hero taking all the praise for defeating Hammerhead's gang. Then Genos suddenly finds a solution to help Saitama, telling him about the Hero Association. This encourages Saitama to sign up alongside his friend Genos. Later, two cyborgs try to kill Hammerhead, but his tough head saves him once more. Saitama is seen filling out forms while watching the news, knowing that one mistake could end his life, just like Hammerhead's. The next day, the Hero Association decides Mumen Rider will stay the #1 Class C hero. They then talk about the official hero test, noticing how the new applicants are getting worse each year, and so they plan to be much stricter when judging them. Plenty of candidates get ready for the exam, doing their warm-ups. Saitama is looked down on by everyone else. The first part, the fitness test, begins. Saitama does his side jumps, then sprints and lifts weights. His immense strength almost wrecks the building, and he gets perfect scores on everything. Later, Saitama waits for the results, and Genos arrives. Saitama asks how he did, saying both parts were simple. Genos mentions the written test was super easy, and anyone could score perfectly. An hour later, the results come in. Genos is officially an S-Class hero. Saitama also believes he is S-Class, and Genos congratulates him. Genos then talks about an interview he had regarding the House of Evolution. The Hero Association asked if he had indeed destroyed the whole building. They are pleased to hear he had eliminated the bad guys, and so Genos is officially listed as an S-Class hero. Meanwhile, Saitama finds out he is actually a C-Class hero. Genos had simply confused the top curve of a C for an S. Genos plans to explain the mix-up, but Saitama says it would just make things worse for him. A famous and good-looking hero, a My Mask, is informed about Genos becoming an S-Class hero. He gazes at Genos' photo, already thinking about meeting him eventually. Later, Saitama and Genos sit in a lecture hall. An A-Class hero named Snake acts superior, telling them to treat their hero job with respect. He gets annoyed when Saitama isn't paying attention and tries to scare him with a strange TikTok dance. Saitama, though, has a different problem. His gum is stuck to his face, and Genos asks if he is okay. That night, they go home, and Genos shares more details about the Hero Association with his master. Saitama doesn't seem too keen, but Genos is already excited to work as a hero alongside him. Genos also announces himself as Saitama's official student, and Saitama realizes Genos will bring plenty of challenges in the future. Meanwhile, Snake grumbles about the two new heroes, thinking they are just inexperienced, but a government official corrects him, stating they are far from weak. He informs Snake that Saitama barely scraped by on the written test, but nearly tore down the whole building during the physical exam. Snake can't fathom how a goofy guy like Saitama could possibly be stronger than him. Saitama then realizes Genos is quite impressive for being among the best heroes. Suddenly, Snake appears, attempting to lecture Saitama. He attacks Saitama with a strange move, but it doesn't work. A few days later, up on a mountain, Genos tells Saitama they are both still at the bottom of the ranks. He explains they'd get hero names once they did more heroic deeds. Saitama hopes he wouldn't end up with a silly nickname like Copped Baldy. Genos thanks him for going along with his big request. Saitama, wanting to help Genos get stronger, agrees to train with him, and Genos makes it clear he wants to fight seriously. Genos throws his first punch, and Saitama easily ducks the kick. Genos then unleashes stronger attacks, and Saitama leaps into the air. A laser beam then knocks Saitama down, blowing up a chunk of the mountain. Saitama is perfectly fine, and Genos speeds up. Saitama also gets faster, and Genos can't hit his master, who is too quick and simply vanishes. Genos finds him, spotting him running away. Genos fires up all his weapons and aims at Saitama, but Saitama suddenly shows up behind him. Genos then says he wants to fight Saitama with everything he has, and that Saitama shouldn't hold back. Genos knows Saitama's power has no end, and that he could be wiped out in one hit. Saitama then shows his full strength, and Genos feels the raw power of his punch. Saitama swings but stops his fist just before hitting his student. Genos is speechless, realizing Saitama is truly a monster for obliterating the mountain behind them. Hero A My Mask learns where Genos is, and heads out. Meanwhile, Saitama is having dinner and challenges Genos to an udon noodle eating contest. A few minutes later, the restaurant owner is dumbfounded that Genos has devoured a whole bucket of udon. Suddenly, A My Mask walks into the restaurant and speaks to Genos. Saitama warns his friend that A My Mask might be a newbie basher just like Snake. They step outside, and Genos asks why A My Mask wanted to chat. Saitama feels a bit uneasy about Genos. A few minutes later, Genos comes back to the restaurant, and Saitama figures he'd beaten A My Mask. Genos explains that A My Mask had just given him a friendly greeting, and a fan of A My Mask even asks to shake his hand. On their walk home, Saitama is amazed at how differently A-Class and C-Class heroes are treated. Genos remembers A My Mask's advice: a real hero must always represent justice beautifully. Genos first thinks A My Mask wants to fight, but the hero had calmly stopped him and given him some pointers for his future as a hero. In the end, A My Mask says he expects wonderful things from Genos. After Genos says his goodbyes, Saitama feels a weird feeling after hearing his words. A My Mask has definitely taken a special interest in Genos. Later, Genos arrives at Saitama's apartment, asking if he could live there. Saitama says no, but Genos persuades him with a big pile of money. A few days after Genos moves in, Saitama wonders what his student is jotting down. Saitama knows Genos is smarter than him, and isn't sure what to teach him. Suddenly, Genos mentions that if he doesn't do hero work regularly, his name will be taken off the hero list. Saitama replied he watches the news daily, and no major problems were reported. Genos explains that news channels don't cover small crimes. Saitama can't believe he is just now learning about these rules. Saitama then tries to seem clever but still has no idea how to help Genos get stronger. Then he spots a magazine and suggests Genos aim to become one of the top 10 heroes. Saitama then goes searching for a criminal, sprinting all over the city. Sadly, he finds no one, as the city remains calm all day. Saitama's effort to catch a bad guy fails, and he returns home. The next day, Saitama feels uneasy because the city is still quiet. Suddenly, Sonic attacks him. Saitama recognizes the person but can't recall his name, telling him he doesn't have time for games. Feeling insulted, Sonic attacks Saitama with his sword, but Saitama simply breaks it. Saitama tells him he is busy, and Sonic feels a strange fear from Saitama's presence. Suddenly, Tank Top Tiger reports a criminal causing trouble in the city. Saitama expects Sonic to be mistaken for the culprit, but he is wrong. He tries to explain, but Tank Top Tiger says he'd never heard of him as a hero. Saitama then gets a lecture about not threatening people anymore. Tank Top Tiger tries to wind Saitama up to look good in front of the townspeople. Out of nowhere, Sonic attacks him. Everyone gets scared and runs away. Sonic asks Saitama if he would flee like a coward or if he has the guts to stay and fight. He then throws shurikens at Saitama, but Saitama easily dodges. He tells Sonic to stop, but Sonic won't listen. At the very last second, Saitama saves a little boy and gets furious. He declares he is busy and has no time for Sonic's silly games. Realizing Sonic is a bad person, he knocks him out. The next day, the Hero Association finds out Sonic is behind several killings. Later, the S-Class hero Tornado shows up at the Hero Association office. She learns about the investigation in City Z and seems mad for some reason, but they manage to settle her down. Tornado then announces they will regret rejecting her help. A few days later, at Hero Association HQ, Watchdog Man gives his report on City Q. Everyone knows City Q is a dangerous spot, with more deaths and monsters than anywhere else. They talk about other cities, noting no major problems there, and how powerful monsters would sometimes appear but are always defeated. Suddenly a man asks about City Z, highlighting its potential for trouble. However, a council member mentions they had sent 2 A-class heroes to check out City Z. Golden Ball and Spring Mustachio are headed to investigate City Z. The 2 heroes scan their surroundings, planning to check an old, empty building. When they get to a locked door, they are cautious, knowing they could be attacked at any moment. Golden Ball asks his partner if he knows why there are so many monsters in this area. Spring Mustachio has no idea. Meanwhile, Gino spots 2 men entering his neighborhood, feels they are looking for something, and just keeps cleaning his toilet. A seaweed monster, people heard, had found out about a tough monster in the deserted town. The 2 heroes spot the seaweed creature and plan to take it down. Golden Ball fires a rocket, but his attack bounces back and the seaweed monster suddenly hits him. Spring Mustachio worries about his friend but then gets attacked himself. He manages to dodge his enemy's strike and pulls off a magic trick. He then fights the monster with his sword skills, blocking every attack, and gets ready to stab it. The seaweed monster, not wanting to become sushi, just leaps away. Spring Mustachio is impressed by its agility and realizes he needs backup. He calls the Hero Association. The seaweed monster then explains he is from a different town and has heard tales of a monster in this ghost town. Meanwhile, a call for help reaches the Hero Association's consulting team, who quickly learn the 2 A-class heroes are in trouble. They try to send nearby heroes to reinforce them in the ghost town. Spring Mustachio, completely out of energy, passes out. A little later, the seaweed monster finds Saitama, who is heading home to make dinner. Saitama is attacked and then remembers he had forgotten to buy seaweed. Later, Genos finds out Saitama got seaweed for a really low price. Genos mentions that seaweed helps with hair growth, which upsets Saitama. The Hero Association later announces that the 2 A-class heroes are in the hospital with bad injuries, but a mystery person had beaten the monster. Afterward, the S-class hero Tornado also catches wind of what happened. She gets really mad at the guy who had first told her no when she offered to check out the ghost town. We then see a bunch of heroes looking over the crime scene, trying to figure out which monster caused such huge damage. They even find seaweed there. Plus, lots of stories start going around about a super strong monster in that ghost town. A few days later, Genos tells his master that his rank had climbed from last place to 342nd. Saitama then finds out Genos is still at the very bottom for actual strength ranking, but his popularity rank is an impressive 6th. Saitama feels a bit jealous and learns Genos is called the Cyborg Prince. A few weeks after that, a giant meteorite as big as the moon speeds towards Earth, startling scientists. They figure it will soon hit the planet, with City Z being its first target. The Hero Association gathers all S-Class heroes for an important meeting. Saitama, ever casual, asks Genos if he could grab some Logan Paul's prime drink on his way home. Genos arrives at the hero building and is greeted by Bang, whom he knows as Silver Fang, the 3rd-ranked S-Class hero. Bang explains that all S-Class heroes were summoned because of a massive issue, a dragon-level threat. The meteorite will strike Earth in 30 minutes, completely destroying City Z, and there is no way to get everyone out in time. Genos asks Bang what his plan is, and Bang simply says he needs to protect his dojo. Meanwhile, everyone in City Z tries to flee from the meteorite but can't get away fast enough. Genos knows everyone will die, but he gives his all to save people. He powers up his Iron Man suit, which he'd borrowed from the Avengers, boosting his strength. Suddenly another cyborg appears, also aiming to destroy the meteorite. Genos recognizes him as Cyborg Beaufoy, another S-Class hero. Genos asks for his help, but Beaufoy turns him down. saying he's only there to try out his new super weapon. Genos then finds out that Cyborg is just a drone, operated remotely with an Xbox controller, and not Cyborg Bofoy himself, but actually the S-Class hero Metal Knight. Metal Knight begins his assault, launching missiles at the meteorite. The missiles strike, and Genos is stunned by the immense destructive force. Sadly, Metal Knight's attack doesn't work, and the meteorite keeps heading towards Earth. Genos figures out the impact time and gets worried, knowing if his own attack fails, everyone would die. Suddenly, Bang shows up, reassuring him and saying he's still young, so he should believe in his own abilities. Genos feels braver, putting his Iron Man core into his arm to collect enough energy. Genos then fires at the meteorite with all his might, but it makes no difference. Bang believed his attack would push the meteorite away, but he was wrong, and Genos completely runs out of energy. Just as Genos feels all hope slip away, his master appears. Saitama introduces himself as a hero and instantly announces he intends to save the world. He leaps into the sky and gets ready for his normal punch. He slams his fist into the meteorite, breaking it into countless small chunks. Silver Fang Bang is incredibly impressed by Saitama's immense power, and the whole city trembles. The meteorite pieces then rain down on Earth. Saitama thinks he'd saved the city, not realizing the buildings right behind him were being wrecked. 3 days later, people hear that City Z wasn't totally wiped out. Genos can't forgive himself for feeling useless, believing he'd accomplished nothing. But Saitama tells him he did nothing wrong and should be glad no one died. Genos agrees, realizing his master had done something truly amazing. Genos worries many would blame Saitama for the damage, even though he'd saved everyone. Suddenly, Saitama asks about their hero ranks. Saitama finds out he jumped from rank 342 to rank 5. Genos then says Saitama deserved more credit, but the Hero Association thought Genos and Metal Knight were the ones who destroyed the meteorite. After that, Saitama learns about the threat level system, and Genos is sure no threat is too much for him. Saitama then says something that truly motivates Genos, who quickly writes it down in his notebook. Meanwhile, Saitama makes up his mind to find a problem to solve, telling Genos not to come along so Genos wouldn't get all the credit again. Saitama looks around the city and is accused of being a fake by Tank Top Tiger. Tank Top Tiger then calls his older brother Tank Top Black Hole, who also shows up and is told Saitama is a fraud who stole credit for other people's efforts. Saitama asks who they are, and Tank Top Tiger gets mad. Tank Top Black Hole then comes up with a plan to make everyone hate Saitama. He yells out, asking if Saitama is responsible for the ruined city, and people start gathering around Saitama. The bully's trick works, making everyone dislike Saitama. All the residents turn against Saitama, thinking he is the bad guy and trying to get him to quit being a hero. At the same time, Genos sees all the hateful messages online. The angry crowd hurls insults at Saitama. Silver Fang watches but doesn't step in, knowing Saitama will face more haters down the road. Suddenly, the Tank Top brothers announce they will punish Saitama. Silver Fang thinks the two brothers are pathetic and knows they'd never make it past Class B. The Tank Top brothers then do their TikTok dances and are mad they can't attract new fans. Tank Top Tiger is instantly defeated and tossed aside. Tank Top Black Hole's attack also fails, and he admits he had lied to everyone. Then Saitama suddenly says he is the one who destroyed the city, and yells that he doesn't care about the insults, telling them they could blame him for being the villain. Genos stops him, happy to have such an amazing master. On their walk home, Genos says he'd never met anyone as incredible as Saitama, adding that even if the whole world turned against him, he would always stand by him. In the days that followed, an octopus tries to take over the world, sending a message that the Seafolk clan will conquer the land, and demanding everyone surrender. Moomin Rider is on his way to help the townspeople, but Saitama accidentally bumps into the monster and plays a game with him. Moomin Rider misses the actual fight but hears about the hero Saitama. That night, he finds out Saitama has climbed to rank 5. Down below, more sea monsters swim up to the surface, and a small person with big breasts screams for help. The issue is that the Sailor clan has frightened them, and plans to take over the land. Suddenly, Class A hero Stinger appears, ready for battle. People cheer, glad to see him, trusting he will beat the enemy. Meanwhile, Genos uses his cyborg powers to dry the dishes, and tells Saitama he is now rank 2. Genos then asks his master if Saitama had defeated a Seafolk monster the day before. Saitama struggles to recall names, and there are TV reports about monsters from Bikini Bottom. Moomin Rider leaves to protect the citizens. Stinger is severely beaten, and the SpongeBob-like creatures scoff at him. Despite his wounds, Stinger refuses to quit and fights the monsters. He manages to beat them and celebrates his win. Then, out of nowhere, the leader of the Seafolk appears and defeats Stinger. Saitama and Genos are on their way to City J, and Genos says he will try to find the enemies. Later, the Hero Association hears about Stinger's situation. Moomin Rider is on the road, and other heroes tell him to go back because Class C heroes aren't strong enough for this. Meanwhile, the Deep Sea King strolls through the streets with a hero secretly watching him. Lightning Max feels danger behind him and instinctively attacks, surprised the monster had shown up there. He tries to escape but is instantly hit and smashed into a building. Lightning Max knows he can't win and tries to use his special weapon, but he is defeated and falls unconscious from the building. An S-Class hero then rescues him. Puri Puri Prisoner busts out of jail, and Sonic is shocked to find other heroes imprisoned there too. Sonic learns Puri Puri Prisoner was locked up for attacking handsome men and making them pick up soap. The Deep Sea King then shows up. Puri Puri Prisoner can't forgive the enemy for messing up two men's pretty faces, and is mad that the monster had caused him to ruin his boyfriend's sweater. The Deep Sea King, feeling hungry, threatens to turn his enemy into a Krabby Patty. Puri Puri Prisoner, unafraid, hits back, surprising his opponent. Sonic sees Puri Puri Prisoner acting tough, but notices he is badly hurt. Suddenly, Puri Puri Prisoner decides to change into his Sailor Moon form, which just means he takes off his clothes. Sonic is stunned to see him naked. Puri Puri feels certain he will win with his angel-style form. They start fighting, and Puri Puri Prisoner attacks the Deep Sea King. Afterward, Genos finds the enemy's location but can't get a hold of his master on the phone. The Deep Sea King shrugs off all of his opponent's attacks. He scoffs at Puri Puri Prisoner and punches him back. Deep Sea King's strength is simply on a different level, and he knocks his opponent unconscious. He then uses Puri Puri Prisoner like a punching bag. Kicking him with such force, he sends him flying towards the moon. The Deep Sea King has a great time and challenges Sonic to fight next. Sonic accepts, hitting the Deep Sea King with a powerful kick. Suddenly, the Deep Sea King uses a special move, but Sonic dodges. Sonic declares he will never lose to a weakling like him, easily avoiding the monster's punch. However, the Deep Sea King begins to like him and boosts his speed, turning into an even stronger monster, claiming he has powered up. Moomin Rider runs into Saitama, who is trying to find his friend, asking Moomin Rider if he'd seen Genos. Meanwhile, Amai Mask is on TV, calling himself just a hero for fun, and pushing his new song, hoping it will make other heroes feel brave. At the same time, Sonic is in deep trouble and tries to escape. Sadly, the Deep Sea King is quicker and crushes Sonic with his hands. Sonic manages to get away and meets Genos while retreating, telling him all the heroes are defeated. Genos wonders why Sonic is naked. The people who had been evacuated hide inside a building. The Deep Sea King, looking excited, walks right in. A Class C hero tells the monster they will give up, asking the Deep Sea King to spare them if they did. He refuses, threatening to eat everyone in the room. Suddenly, some heroes step forward, and Snake is prepared to risk his life. Afterward, Moomin Rider offers to guide Saitama. Saitama sees a naked man and thinks he hadn't escaped in time. Later, Snake and his friends, terrified of the monster, are badly hurt. Saitama can't find the man he is looking for. Genos then arrives. The Hero Association can't get a hold of Moomin Rider on his phone. Saitama finds Moomin Rider's phone and explains to the Hero Association that Moomin Rider is heading to fight the monster, adding that Saitama himself will handle the situation. We then see Genos attack the Deep Sea King with his Super Cyborg Blast Punch, sending him flying towards the moon and ripping a huge hole in the wall. The citizens are amazed by Genos, believing he has won. They celebrate Genos' victory, but the Deep Sea King knocks him down from behind. Genos had dropped his guard and is severely injured. At the same time, the Hero Association finds out Saitama is a C-Class hero. Normally, the chairman would stop other C-Class heroes from getting involved, but they trust Saitama and send him the monster's location. Later, Genos tells all the citizens to escape, promising to stop the monster. The Deep Sea King tries to block their escape, but Genos charges at him, hitting him with a cyborg kick. They start fighting, trading countless blows. Genos manages to land a powerful uppercut and unleashes a burst of flames. He leaps into the air to blind the monster and keeps up his machine gun-like attacks. Sadly, the Deep Sea King simply takes all of Genos' attacks. A girl tries to cheer Genos on but gets hit with acid spit. Genos leaps in front of her to protect her, causing his body to melt. The Deep Sea King then crushes him into the building wall. He scoffs at Genos, calling him useless for choosing to save the girl when he could have easily dodged. As the Deep Sea King gets ready to finish him, Moomin Rider appears, hitting him with his bike. Moomin Rider shows no fear, attacking the monster, but his strike does nothing. The Deep Sea King remembers he still wanted to kill Genos, but Moomin Rider wouldn't quit, attacking again. He knew he wasn't strong, but he couldn't just stand there, so he tries to buy as much time as possible. People feel his courage and believe he could win, cheering loudly for Moomin Rider. Pumped up, he fights with all his might but instantly loses. At the very last second, Saitama appears, telling Moomin Rider he has fought bravely. He notices Genos is hurt and feels worried for his student. The Deep Sea King then attacks Saitama, but the punch does no harm. The Deep Sea King is stunned that Saitama survived, and the people realize Saitama is the new C-Class hero. The Deep Sea King boasts he is the strongest, but Saitama looks bored. He attacks Saitama, but Saitama defeats him with just one punch, surprising absolutely everyone. Genos knows his master will win, and the citizens have to accept that the C-Class hero is the victor. Saitama, though, feels let down by the unexciting fight. Meanwhile, Sonic returns for his revenge, but the Deep Sea King is already gone. In the days that followed, Saitama is heading home and finds a drone. Genos explains that heroes often get fan mail, and there is a letter for Saitama in the box. Saitama opens his letter, only to be called a fake. Genos feels sad, recalling the day against the Deep Sea King when everyone celebrated Saitama's win. Unfortunately, a mean-looking guy appears, claiming the monsters were already weak from fighting other heroes before. He makes fun of the heroes, and one person even wants to hit him. Saitama then acts like a bad guy to calm everyone down, which makes them all truly believe he is a fraud and start hating him. Genos knows Saitama is only pretending to be a villain, so other heroes wouldn't lose their good name. He admires his master even more for caring about peace over being famous. Afterward, Saitama finds a fan letter thanking him for his brave actions. He then learns he has jumped to rank 1 and is summoned to the Hero Association. The Hero Association congratulates him and offers him a step up to a B-class hero. He takes the offer so he can get closer to Genos' rank and answers some more questions. Meanwhile, many doubt his power, but a few association members see his true potential, believing he will one day outshine all S-class heroes. Ame Mask is upset that Genos was defeated, feeling it damaged the hero's image. We then see 2 injured A-class heroes who read about the article regarding Genos. Puri Prisoner then appears in the room, intending to make the 2 boys his new boyfriends. They quickly run off, and he then finds a news story about himself that calls him a loser. That evening, Saitama gets a certificate as a B-class hero and decides to have udon for dinner. Moomin Rider plans to ask him out to eat, congratulating him on his promotion. Just then, Saitama remembers meeting Moomin Rider a few days earlier. Saitama then finds out Moomin Rider had written him the letter, and they become friends while sharing udon. A few weeks later, the famous seer Shibabawa foresees a monster that will wipe out the world. Up in the mountains, a frozen monster has thawed and woken up, set on destroying all humans. Godzilla stomps into the city, planning to conquer the world. The Hero Association shoots missiles at him, but they don't do a thing. A fighter jet then shows up, sending the hero Tornado into the fight. She flies towards Godzilla, scoffing at the weak monster. Godzilla asks who she is, but Tornado brushes him off and is called back to base. Godzilla is furious, she calls him strange, and she is annoyed. He cuts into her phone call. Godzilla tries to step on her, but she dodges. Godzilla then gets ready to fire a laser beam, but she crushes it with a meteorite she pulls from space. Meanwhile, Silver Fang is teaching his fighting styles, asking if the 2 visitors, Saitama and Genos, want to give it a shot. Saitama and Genos aren't too impressed, and Silver Fang's student can't stand them disrespecting his master. They find out his top student, Garu, has gone wild and badly hurt all the strong students. Silver Fang admits that Saitama is stronger than him. Then a Hero Association worker appears. They learn about a new big danger, a dragon-level threat. Genos asks his master to come along, and Saitama says he has nothing else going on. Later, they get to the Hero Association's main office. Atomic Samurai greets Silver Fang. Silver Fang introduces Saitama, saying he will eventually lead the S-class heroes. Afterward, Tornado arrives, grumbling about a B-class hero being brought along. Saitama wonders why there is a small kid in the building, thinking she has lost her parents. All the S-class heroes then show up for the meeting. Genos realizes things are serious because almost every S-class hero, from rank 1 to 17, is there, except for rank 1 and rank 6. Suddenly, Saitama asks if he could get some tea, because he is super thirsty. The head of the Hero Association then shows up, telling the heroes about a new threat that could even put all S-class heroes' lives at risk. He asks if anyone is scared and wants to leave the meeting. No one moves, but Tornado starts arguing with another hero. Then it is announced that the famous seer Madame Shibabawa has died, having choked on some chewing gum. Puri Prisoner explains that Shibabawa was a psychic who could foresee disasters that threatened the world. The chairman then talks about her most dangerous prediction, written on a paper, saying Earth is in deep trouble. This reveals that in half a year, a monster even stronger than a dragon-level threat is heading towards Earth. The heroes understand the gravity of the situation, that the world might be destroyed, but they don't know exactly when this disaster will happen. The whole building shakes, and they can't believe the Hero Association's main office is under attack. Sky King plans to take over Earth with his family. Suddenly, all of Sky King's children are beaten, and he is stunned. They are squashed like bugs. On top of that, Earth is hit by something like the Death Star. The head of the Hero Association then realizes the big disaster has finally reached Earth. Afterward, a boy is saved by his dad. He is terrified, unable to believe he sees the enormous alien spaceship. A 5-headed alien appears, ready to kill them, but a hero stops its attack. He manages to move aside just in time, saying he is a student of Atomic Samurai. The hero attacks the monster, and the chairman can't believe the world is about to be 99% destroyed. Silver Fang later finds out the building hadn't been destroyed because Metal Knight had built it. The heroes want to head outside, and Genos notices Saitama is already moving towards the enemy. Saitama is attacked but batted away the cannonball. More cannonballs come his way, and he sends one right back. Meanwhile, the many-headed alien is healing itself, planning to kill its enemy. It badly hurts the hero with a hammer and scoffs at its foe. It then splits its body, but it is sliced into tiny pieces at the last second. Atomic Samurai shows up, and his student warns him the monster could heal itself. The monster can't catch him off guard but heals again, making its enemy happy to fight a tough opponent, even if he doesn't think they could win. A group of S-class heroes arrives, eager to fight the enemy. Puri Puri Prisoner, determined not to lose again, attacks his opponent. The Hero Association frantically tries to get everyone to safety. Afterward, Genos and other S-class heroes team up to face the main villain. Zombie Man asks King to join them. King says he can't because he can't fly, and Tornado gets mad. Saitama faces an alien general, who tries to stop him, but is instantly defeated. Saitama then searches for the boss, smashing through the entire spaceship as he goes. Meanwhile, the alien boss waits for his challenger to show up. News channels announce a spaceship had appeared, and all major roads into City A were blocked. Many people are shocked, and the alien ship scares everyone. Sonic hears about the powerful enemy on the radio and feels a strong urge to fight. After that, Puri Puri Prisoner is worn out from his battle against Melzergard. Melzergard can heal from all attacks and plans to strike the heroes. Silver Fang sees the attack coming and blocks it, pushing Melzergard back. Melzergard, furious, sends a piece of his body to tell the ship to drop bombs. But Metal Bat unfortunately stops his plan, hitting the flying head like a baseball. Garyugen Shoop suddenly tells him an intruder is on the ship and he needs to finish his fight fast to help them. Meanwhile, Metal Bat keeps trying to smash one of Melzergard's heads. The other heroes concentrate on Melzergard's main body, using all their hidden fighting moves against him. Atomic Samurai's students suggest they fall back, but no one pays attention. They are set on defeating the enemy to save the world. Melzergard is told to go back to the ship right away, but is too busy, being attacked from every direction. Garyugen Shoop is surprised humans are tougher than he thought, and reports Saitama has wiped out half the crew. So Melzergard orders his ally to bomb his own location. Melzergard's head is then sliced in half, and he can't believe the trespasser has killed almost everyone. Metal Bat spots a shiny marble and breaks it, which makes the enemy melt away. He tells the others about this weak point. Atomic Samurai then starts cutting up the enemy to finally defeat Melzergard. Meanwhile, Saitama is warned he would die if he kept smashing the ship. Garyugen Shoop is scared, but Saitama doesn't believe his lie. Saitama suddenly breaks through a door and finds the control room. Garyugen Shoop tries to scare him, using a Snapchat filter to make his body look different. An alien soldier in charge of bombing thinks his boss has gone to the bathroom. The real reason he isn't answering is Saitama's complete lack of fear. The soldier then uses his gravity powers, trying to kill Saitama. Sadly, his powers have no effect on Saitama, and the alien mistakenly thinks his name is Mob Psycho. After his strong mind power attack, he figures Saitama is dead. Saitama, thinking it is rude to have a rock thrown at him, tosses the rock at Garyugen Shoop's head, then asks the soldiers where their leader is. At the same time, Child Emperor notices the ship's power is growing, and they can't get everyone out. One person is completely tired, and Moomin Rider arrives to help him. An alien then turns on the ship's big guns, and the heroes manage to smash more marbles. The heroes are then showered with bombs, and Melzergard is certain he will win this time. Suddenly, the bombs stop because Tornado uses her mind powers, sending them right back and blowing up the enemy ship. The Hero Association is truly amazed by Tornado's skills. Moomin Rider works hard to get as many people to safety as he can. Suddenly, Stinger and Lightning Max appear, offering their help to Moomin Rider. Slowly, the heroes start fighting back, bravely battling Melzergard. Silver Fang manages to destroy another marble, leaving the enemy with only one head. Then Silver Fang is hit, and the monster manages to knock out the strongest person in the group. Melzergard keeps scoffing at humanity and plans to unleash his full strength. Lord Boros sits on his throne, feeling that a powerful enemy will soon appear. Saitama suddenly smashes through the door, appearing before the alien boss. Saitama is surrounded by a dangerous energy, and Boros feels he is the strongest warrior on Earth. He is thrilled for the fight and wants to know Saitama's name. Lord Boros then explains he has traveled across many galaxies because a prophecy said he would one day meet a strong opponent. Saitama attacks Boros, telling him not to destroy other planets just because he is bored. Boros, to Saitama's surprise, survives the mighty punch. Boros then lets loose his real power, changing into his ultimate form, which doesn't really impress Saitama. The fight begins between Earth's top hero and the universe's toughest alien. Saitama waits for the attacks, and his enemy actually manages to take his punches. A moment later, Saitama hits his opponent with a powerful blow, and Boros realizes he has lost an arm. Lord Boros praises Saitama for his strength, and Saitama, in return, respects him too. Meanwhile, Tank Top Master, wanting to fight the enemies in the sky his own way, heaves a giant rock at the spaceship. Tornado suddenly announces he is in her path, and his ego is bruised. She then uses her mind powers and, all by herself, blows up the ship. The alien crew members are terrified and deeply scared. Genos is really impressed by Tornado. Drive Knight says he is going home, but before he leaves the fight area, he plans to speak with Genos. He warns him about Metal Knight, telling him that Metal Knight is actually his enemy. Melzargard attacks Atomic Samurai and cackles like a cartoon bad guy, saying he could already feel victory. But Silver Fang bounces back from the hit. Suddenly, Melzargard's body is sliced, and he tries to heal. Silver Fang stops his healing efforts and successfully smashes the last core of his body. Atomic Samurai praises Silver Fang, saying he is way too strong for an old guy. The other heroes are happy about the win and decide to blow up the alien ship in the sky. Meanwhile, Moomin Rider manages to get the last few people to safety. Saitama battles his opponent, and Lord Boros fights with everything he has. Boros manages to smash Saitama into several walls, but Saitama is completely fine. The two keep fighting, and Boros hits him with a dropkick, sending them fighting outside the ship. Boros then says he is amazed because no one has lasted against him for so long. He blasts Saitama with an Iron Man-style laser beam, and the whole ship blows up. Saitama takes a powerful hit, and Boros is absolutely certain he will win because he comes from the toughest species in the universe and can always heal. Saitama is irritated that Boros is talking so much, and his enemy grows angry. Lord Boros uses his special attack, which wipes out many of his own crew. He also shows Saitama his Rock Lee style moves and opens the 8 gates. Saitama is then stomped onto the moon and looks completely bored. He then remembers he needed to get back to Earth, so he plays with a moon rock before flying back. His enemy is now weaker. Saitama suddenly lands on the ship, and the other heroes think Tornado has made the ship fall. Meanwhile, Boros is furious and attacks Saitama again with all his power, but Saitama punches him in the stomach. He manages to push Boros back, and Saitama starts hitting him, tearing apart Boros' body, but Boros heals and gets even stronger. He then launches his ultimate attack, blasting Saitama with his laser beam. Saitama counters with his serious punch, bouncing the attack right back, defeating the enemy, and saving the world from this danger. This is where our anime comes to an end. Subscribe for anime recaps.